Hey, today's the 31st of October 2019. Taking some video of a Renegade frame. It's been pretty much cleaned up, ready for paint. I want to go document a few things before I put the chassis coat on. So, left front frame horn, we got a number on there, 34, and then underneath it, 2048. The far side, right side, on the outside, there's the same number, but it's a 2047. You can see the Renegade boxed in frame horns, so got heavy metal in there with a skip weld on it. We've got another number up here on the front, underneath the left front shock. Frame mount, upside down, we've got November 11th, and then underneath there, there's another number. 34 and then 1022. That's all the numbers on the left frame rail. So I'm going to shoot some video here. Hopefully this will document a few of the holes. I had to fill a few holes, and you can pretty much tell which ones were drilled and which ones were punched from the factory. Basically, if you take a putty knife and scrape the inside, you can see a burr if it was drilled, or feel a burr. So the previous owner, one of the previous owners, had switched out the clutch cable system, which came out on the 70s, 71s. This is a 71, by the way, Renegade II. And put in a torque bar between the frame and the transfer case, like the old style. So bell crank, clutch bell crank, whatever you want to call it. So I had to they fabbed the bracket, filled the holes, and ground them down. So, okay, that's the left frame rail outside. I'll move over to the inside of the right frame rail so you can see what holes are there. I believe what's left is all factory holes. Coming down, there's the transmission crossmember mount. Being a Renegade, it had the V6 225 cubic inch Dauntless motor. Okay, there's the Dauntless over there. It's been cleaned up and painted. So I've been driving this Jeep for a couple of years. Beginning of the summer, tore it down. Had to do some rust on the floor pan, so the tub's being painted now. So hope to have it together in the next few weeks. So. All right, going down the right frame well, I'm across showing the left frame horn inside boxed in. And now we've got the right frame horn. Like I mentioned earlier, the numbers 342047. No other numbers up on the front, but we are coming to the serial number that's stamped in the frame. One of two places. This is right above the right front shackle, shackle mount, the rear of the right front shackle. So 369518 serial number, and that matches the dash, the van dash, as well as the firewall. There's a number that's been painted on the frame. I don't know if it's part number. I could probably make it out, but I'm not going to try with this video. Well, it could be 99062. It's painted on bigger numbers. Incidentally, this frame's been hot sea steam washed, 175 degrees, 500 psi. Again, an older hot sea. And then certain areas, like the inside where the transmission is, I had to go wire brush it and get some of the grease off. And then it's been wiped down with lacquer thinner. So, in preparation for chassis paint. Now we're coming up to the right rear, and there's another serial number here stamped in the frame. So there's the right rear shock frame mount, and then you've got a body mount. So right in front of this rear cross member is another serial. The serial number is stamped again, 369518. So that's all the numbers on the frame. Hopefully the holes. I mean, this is a transition year. This is a November build date. And 72, as most of the Jeep enthusiasts know, they switched over to AMC design. So there's some holes in here that are specific to the newer intermediates. For example, this is for the emergency brake cable. There's two of them there. There's a little bracket for the cable. So they switched over to the Dana 20 from the 18. Inside of the left front, let's talk about this rear cross member. I had done some work on it while I was driving it a couple of years ago, so it's already got chassis paint on it. So that's why it's pre-finished. A couple of things here that I want to point out is the rear shackles, both sides. Outside there's a plate on it, and looks factory based off the beads and the sloppy welding, which is pretty much consistent throughout this frame. So that, I guess, it's just a reinforcement plate. A couple years ago I had to take the gas tank out, so there's a drawbar, hitch on the back. Gas tank goes in the middle here, so I tack weld in some bolts so it's easy to take off and mount the drawbar. So non-standard, but makes it easy to work on. All right, inside of the left frame rail, you can see some of the shoddy welds here. I might go through it again and show you some of it, but they seem to hold. Although this strap for the transmission mount, it had come loose, so I had to plug weld it back in with the MIG. There was some other holes, like I said, they had the bell crank for the old style clutch mechanism. I filled those and ground them down. So, all right, inside of the left front. Just to give you an idea of some of the sloppy welds, you could just tell they were in a hurry when they manufactured this. I just drugged the MIG welder. You could see where they just drugged the MIG welder from where they mounted the shackle on up. And I had gone through it with a wire brush and a little bit of a flap sanding disc to clean it up. A chisel with a hammer, light tap would knock off all the welding beads, but you can see where they just drug the welder right along. They must have been paid on commission or something, because they went fast with this weld. Like I said, there's no cracks in the frame. This is a Colorado Jeep, so fortunately there's no rust on the frame. A little bit of surface rust, but nothing major. But the floor plans needed to be replaced on the tub. Other than that, it's a pretty clean Jeep. So kind of fortunate there that I don't have to deal with changing out the frame or fixing the frame. So I haven't seen any cracks in it, and I've gone through it multiple times. Steam clean, a little bit of gasoline, chisel, flap sander, wire brush on the grinder, and then I've given it a wipe down with lacquer thinner and prep. So there's no cracks or stress that I had seen, just some sloppy welding and things like that. So once again, 71 Jeep CJ5. It's a Renegade version. You can see by the frame horns. Also, one of the other features that I've read is the rear shackle, the front mount. They're reinforced with a plate. I believe the other ones didn't have the plate. And so both left and right are plated. So that's, other than the box frame horns, it's one of the features of the Renegade. So for those of you that aren't sure what the Renegades are, I've got a picture on the wall. And this Jeep, my Jeep, is Big Bad Orange, Riverside Orange, Hugger Orange, whatever you want to call it. It's the orange version. So there you have it.